Today, I am talking about inclusive research. So, I'm specifically talking about what resource tools we can use as librarians as well as educators to help to bridge the gap with information literacy. So, how can we make sure that all of our students are able to get the most out of information literacy and also research? So, I'm going to introduce you to some really cool tools that use a lot of accessibility tools to help students be and get the most out of their information literacy classes. All right. So, the classroom reality. So, the reading achievement gap is defined as the increasing disparity between the most and least accomplished students in the same grade. This gap can lead to a situation where a single teacher is responsible for students decoding basic phonics alongside students who can navigate high school level informational text. So, I am a fifth grade educator in a public school, and I have students in my fifth grade class who are reading at a 12th grade level. And then I also have students who are multilingual or ESOL students who are English as their second language, and they're navigating phonics right now. And so this is a reality of the classroom. And so as librarians and as educators, how do we bridge that gap? And how do we find tools that help us to bridge that gap? And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So, leveling the playing field. We want databases or research tools that adapt to our students and their needs and not students adapting to the database because they get more out of it that way. So, today I'm going to introduce you guys to Gale in Context Elementary and Middle. And it's a tool that students at all levels can get the most out of their research process. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the different accessibility tools that are available on Gale in Context. So some of the accessibility hacks are there's adjustable text size and background for students with visual impairments or dyslexia. This is really, really helpful. Um, and it's already there on the page. It's not something that you're going to have to do in the web browser or anything like that. Also, the listen feature is available for students. So text is speech tool. So essentially it reads along with the student and it highlights each of those words. So if a student really is trying to figure out phonics and learn new words, be introduced to new words, it's text speech. So all they have to do is follow along with the reading. Also, we have Lexile level filtering. So if we want to introduce an article or show some type of research through a magazine, whatever source, we want to do, there's a way for us to filter for students who are reading on a ninth grade level, but also students who need that same material and need to understand it who are reading at a third grade level. And so that's a really, really cool way that librarians can kind of text match on according to student reading level and also ability. And then also, Gale does a really great job of translating. So all of these articles that are available for students, they can be translated to the native tongue of that student. So I'm going to show you guys a brief demonstration now. How to find the information. So when you go to Discus, you'll find that there are a lot of Gale in Context. So the two that we're going to explore today is Gale in Context Elementary and then Gale in Context Middle School. I'm going to show you how you can use some of these inclusive practices to basically have these databases that can be used for your students who have diverse needs. And we want databases that are, accommodating our kids, and we're not making our kids accommodate to the databases. And Gale is great for that. So let's investigate. So when I go, we'll start with Gale Middle School. So say I wanted a research article about dogs. I'm going to type in dogs. And I could be more specific, but maybe I don't want to today. So the first thing, a good thing for librarians to know, is the Lexile measure is available on this search engine. So say you have a middle schooler who is reading on a 200 to 400 Lexile level, which of course is, a kindergarten, first grade level. But also you still have some middle schoolers who are 1300 plus, which of course is a college level. So you can check here and specify the Lexile range of the articles, and then you can click apply, and in doing so you'll get information that is on that Lexile range, as you can see here. So, say this is the article that I wanted to read. And now we want to again show these inclusive things that we can do to help our students. So, Gale makes these accessibility things very easy with the accessibility toolbar, which is right here. And the first thing that I want to show you guys is the listen button. So let's look at the listen tool. For students with visual impairments, dyslexia, or those who simply benefit from dual modality learning, this is a game changer. Notice how it doesn't just read the text, it highlights each word as it speaks. So I clicked it, and then here we go. Watch.
Therapy dogs. Therapy dogs, also called comfort dogs, provide psychological and physiological therapy to individuals other than their handler or owner. While therapy dogs live with
Another really cool feature with this, if you click this, you can enlarge the text. So if you enlarge it and then
their
push
handler,
play,
they visit
you can
public
see it
places
here
such as
too.
hospitals, nursing homes, hospices, daycares, rehabilitation centers, and schools.
And those students can pause and stop the text as they go if they need to take notes or whatever. All right. Also, there are visual adjustments for text and color. And so here in this assessment toolbar, you can make the text larger, and then also you can make it smaller. We also have font and the background changes here. So if you wanted to change the background of the writing to gray because white is too hard for the student, it's too high contrast, or if you need a more muted color, you can do that too. And these simple shifts can be the difference between a student feeling frustrated and a student feeling capable. Also, you can do open dyslexic font, and it can help those readers who are dyslexic. Um, Also, there is an ability for you to translate the content. So say you wanted to translate this article for a student that was from a Spanish-speaking country. So all you would do is scroll down and find Spanish, and then this article will be translated to Spanish for that student, which is really, really awesome also. You can do the same thing on the platform for elementary. So another really interesting thing about the elementary platform, and you also can find it on the middle school platform, is the sound on can be on. So anytime
News,
you hover over
pictures,
something, you can hear
videos,
it. And so for those students who are struggling with understanding these larger
animals,
words, or if they need help sounding something out, all they have to do is hover
art
over
and
it with their
music,
mouse
geography,
or tap on it and it will say it for them. So say I wanted to do an article on dogs. All right. So the sound is still on and I wanted to do
book,
a book
dogs,
article. So I'm going to click on the first one. What you'll notice with the elementary level is, of course, you still have the accessibility toolbar. You can make the text larger, smaller or larger, which is really awesome. You can also change the background as well as the font, and you can translate if need be. Also, what you'll notice on the elementary level is they have the levels 1 and level 2. And so if a student needs different reading levels for the same content, you can do that also. So yeah, that's really awesome. Now on Gale. But through utilizing these skills, we are teaching independence to our students and patrons. And libraries can also add Gale Accessibility Guide to their own live guides to help patrons with research at their level. We want to meet patrons where they're at and build on those funds of knowledge that they already have. And it increases their independence and also autonomy. So that's what we want for people to get and our students to get out of research and information science. Thank you for watching. You all have a good one. Bye-bye.